Hi everyone, how do you CTS or complete the square? Consider the square of the binomial x plus b. How would you expand that? Please don't say x squared plus b squared. You do start with x squared and you do end with plus b squared, but don't miss the middle term. You need twice the product of the two terms, plus 2bx. When you square this binomial, you get this PST, a perfect square trinomial. So let's say that you're given x squared plus 2bx. You're given x squared and then this linear term here. How would you then construct the b square constant term? How do you get from the coefficient on x to the b squared over here? Well, you take the coefficient on x, the 2b, take half of that, you get b itself, square that result, and you get b squared. And that's the constant term that you add. That process is called completing the square, CTS. Adding on the b squared, that's completing the square, CTS, so that the result is a PST, a perfect square trinomial. So for example, let's say that you have x squared plus 6x. You take the coefficient on x, which is 6, take half of that, you get 3, square that result, and you get 9. So you add 9 at the end, and you get a PST. Now, how do you factor this? Well, if you look at this backwards, you have a guide. You're going to get the square of what? Again, when we factor, what do we get? We get the x, all right? And then we get the plus b, which is really the middle number over here, positive 3. X squared plus 6x plus 9 factors as the square of x plus 3. Bear in mind that even if you start off with a minus sign here, x squared minus 6x plus 9, all right, well, you have negative 6 here. Half of negative 6 is negative 3, but the square of negative 3 is still positive 9. So it's still a plus 9 over here. But instead of an x plus 3 here, all squared, you have an x minus 3 here, all squared. So when you factor, remember that you take half of the coefficient on x, half of negative 6 would be negative 3, or you could take the square root of 9, where you take the corresponding sign over here. So you want the negative 3, not the positive 3. All right, that's how you CTS, and then factor.